The CPI, or Consumer Price Index, is a means for calculating inflation within the economy, or deflation, if you will. It's basically calculating changes in prices for goods and services over time. The CPI is really important and for a number of reasons. As I mentioned, inflation and deflation within the economy, it's really the standard tool for use in measuring that. You're deciding, taking a look at how the economy is faring in terms of, are we stable? Are we growing? Are we looking at a potential recession? And that's not just on a national level, but it's also at a local level. And when economists, policymakers are taking a look at the CPI index and what that change is, that feeds into policies made, government programs, wage adjustments, the payments you would get for Social Security, subsidized programs. The change that you see for a CPI, there's a reason behind that, right? And inflation and deflation, there's many factors that go into it. Some common occurrences are surge in demand, or maybe the cost to make something goes up, right? Like the raw materials, the equipment, the labor is more costly. So in turn, for a business or organization, it's going to take more money to produce the goods and services you're turning around to your customers. And if you want to keep doors open, maintain operations, provide the same quality of products or services, you're going to have to increase your prices as well.
In public utilities, the water treatment plants, one of the areas that it affects is we purchase a huge amount of chemicals in both water treatment plants, Medicine Park treatment plant and the Southeast treatment plant. And the CPI index is reflected in the increase of cost for our chemicals. This past year, we saw some of the chemicals increase in cost by over 30%. The total chemical budget for the two plants increased almost $800,000 due to chemical increases. And that is basically more than we saw in the 1.7% CPI index for the city as a whole. That one chemical account for those two plants exceeded what that 1.7% CPI index brought in. The CPI addresses general overall cost increase. It covers all the areas. It covers vehicles, it covers wages, it covers the cost of chemicals, it covers the cost of fuel. And all of those average out to an average CPI index increase, and that was what the 1.7% is, the overall average increase for all purchases that the city would make.
Right.
Overall, it is quite a bit of benefit to the city, but it's very minimal cost if you keep up with it. It's when you get behind and the increase goes up, when something goes up 10% versus a small percentage like 1.7%. 1.7 is a little number, but a 10% increase really could impact your overall finances.
Our CPI for the city of Lawton is based off the index for Dallas, Fort Worth, and Arlington. There are thousands of CPI indexes that you can take a look at, and month to month you do see fluctuation. Is it a lot? Not necessarily. It can be, but some goods and services are more volatile than others. So depending on what you're looking at, you will likely see a change month to month. So you can look at a month-to-month basis, but also it's very common to look at, say, a 12-month average.